What's going on, everyone? Nate and Travis of Next Level TCG here on YouTube for another conversation. What's going on, Nate? How you doing today?
I am doing good. It feels good to be back here, talking with you and just, getting to, talk all things Pokemon. It was, we went through a little bit of time there, where we weren't posting too much, but glad to be back here. Yeah, got an interesting one today. Not something that we talk about quite often, but I think it's time to kind of bring this topic up a little bit because there's a lot that's changed, over the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely 100% agree with you. This isn't a topic that we shy away from. Most creators in the space of Pokemon or Pokemon TCG, they kind of do it like outside of the realm of the community, right? They do it outside of the realm of the content creators. There's a group of creators who are close with each other and do things together, and the larger ones are aware of each other and that sort of a thing. But a lot of the smaller creators like us, a lot of them are afraid to have conversations about content creation, bigger creators, all that kind of stuff, in fear of fans or fan bases coming after them. And I say that just to preface the fact that this is not like a demeaning video towards any creators. This is not a demoralizing video towards any creators or anything like that, guys. This is strictly, we're talking about content and how it's changed over the last few years, at least since we've been creating content. And even though you do have a picture of Rev and Leonhardt and, Big Daddy Mac right there, Logan Paul, on the screen here, we're not specifically going to be talking about them as creators or anything like that. We just picked probably the most recognizable faces with our niche, and they're here, right? So, let's dive into it, though. So I started my channel about 4 years ago. When did you start your actual channel, Nate? Like your solo channel that you had?
ASX TCG was started in October of 2020. So a couple of years. Almost a couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah. So a couple of years now because it's 2023.
That's right. That's right. Over 2 years there. So, and we decided to join forces for many different reasons and all that kind of stuff. But so we're here now, and it was 4 years for me, September 2018, when I started creating content, more of a family-focused content, right? So I know my initial thought when I was getting into Pokemon content creation, it was a family thing. My oldest son was 9 years old, right? And there was this huge explosion of popularity with kid channels, people like Ryan were blowing up, and these other like toy unboxing channels were starting to get really popular, and YouTube was really coming into its own. And my son, my 9-year-old was a little too old to be watching Ryan and stuff like that, but he was watching a lot of unboxing channels. He used to love Leonhardt, Real Breaking Nate. Who's the guy that used to open up the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff? Forgive me, I met him at Collecticon, but he used to watch Simply Unlucky. We used to watch Simply Unlucky all the time, the Yu-Gi-Oh unboxer, and he always wanted to open stuff on channel. And I was just like, hey, one day I would be like, no. And then one day I was like, you know what, let's freaking go for it. Like, what's the worst that could happen by starting a basically toy Pokemon TCG unboxing channel on YouTube with my son, and it'll be a family friendly, here's my kid and all this other stuff, and it was a lot of fun, and it was really cool. It struggled to gain traction, but back then at least there was an entire community based around new creators coming into the niche with these unboxings and things like that, and it's really exploded since then. Like, what was your first initial thought when creating your YouTube channel back in 2020?
Yeah, so many of 2020, the whole pandemic and all that stuff happened. So that was a big factor, right? We were all at home and everything. And I just got on YouTube one day, and had always been a Pokemon fan, and was like, let's see what kind of Pokemon content is on YouTube here. And that's when I found Leonhardt. He was like the first Pokemon YouTuber that I really started watching.
I think.
Unboxings, exactly. Openings and things like that, and kind of just had the same thought, like I love watching these videos. I would love to, open up a pack or two of cards and see what happens. And, it kind of all, stemmed from that. And it's it's definitely, I agree with you. It definitely felt different, right? Back in that time, kind of starting a new channel, it felt like there was, like a lot of support out there in that for small channels and in the, in this even, in this niche and everything like that. And, I just feel like that isn't necessarily the case anymore. Maybe I'm just too far away from, when I started a YouTube channel to now, being over 2 years doing it. I just don't, get that anymore. But
yeah,
ooh, geez, it's definitely definitely a little different. I almost knocked my whole mic off of here, just ripped it down almost.
Yeah, man, you're moving around a bunch. You need some preparation H?
I do. It's got something going on down there. It was off camera. I didn't want to say anything, but now that everybody knows.
Hey, man, I'm just here to do my job, man. I'm just here to do my job. But yeah, like, so unboxings have definitely reached this point where, they really got popular, and I'd say late to the 2010s, and in 2020 specifically when Pokemon had this massive explosion, people like you, Nate, coming in. But now add 3 more years to that, add 2020, 21, 22, and now getting into 2023 of how many more people have access to posting content, right?
Yeah.
The really, really big creators started posting content in an era before it was easy to post content on YouTube. People like PewDiePie and Smosh and all these types of channels that got really large back in the late 2000s and early 2010s. It was not easy back then to upload to YouTube because it was not easy to find. You had to really know what you were doing to edit videos. You couldn't upload them from your phone. You couldn't upload them, on janky, dial-up internet, right? Like, you just couldn't,
Yeah.
So in a sense that, like, so much has changed, and it's just simply because there are so many people in 2023 that are posting online content, right? So the days of I'm going to pop up on YouTube, post an unboxing video and hope that it reaches a few thousand, couple thousand, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000 people are just over, because why would somebody, and I really want you guys down in the comment section to answer this. I really do. Why would you prefer to watch somebody open up, let's say, an ETB or 2 ETBs, right? Because back in the day, it used to be like, oh, here's my product showcase in my ETB, and it was really cool. Because you were one of, 100 people that posted it. Now you're one of 1,000. And then on top of that, something else that's happened is people are opening entire Elite Trainer boxes in shorts.
Yep.
So
that's the big one.
That's the big one right there, right? Attention span is nothing at all. Why would somebody dedicate 13, 14 minutes of their life to watch somebody like you or I open up an Elite Trainer box when there's 10, 20, 30, 400 people doing it on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, on Instagram Reels, on Facebook Reels, on freaking Snapchat, for Pete's sake. Yeah. Like, there's all these different social media sites of thousands and thousands of different content creators doing this. How are you going to stand out opening a $40 ETB in 13 minutes? Like, does that make sense to you?
It definitely doesn't. And I, being the one that does primarily the unboxings here on the channel, it's definitely something that I've come to realize, is that, things are 100%, things are moving to the shorts. If you can put it in a short, more than likely it's going to do better views wise. Is kind of what I've gathered. It's just where it's at. TikTok really made that explode, I think. With the whole shorts thing. I mean, I'm guilty of it, scrolling through TikTok. Like, I don't like the first 2 seconds of a video. Boop,
gone.
Click, it's gone.
Gone.
And I never see it again. And that was it. And I feel like, scrolling through YouTube, we have shorts here on YouTube now. Somebody sees, hey, I'm going to open up this ETB. I'm going to open up an entire ETB in a whole minute for you. You're going to see everything inside. Or I'm going to open up this ETB in a 15-minute video, and you're going to have to spend 15 minutes of your life versus just a minute. 9 times out of 10, the person's going to choose that short now, which is, it's tough, because I really like doing those unboxing videos where
Yeah.
I get to talk to you guys a little bit more than just 60 seconds of a clip. Bring things up, kind of discuss things. And I feel like you can do that in a short, but you got to do it much differently. You got to do
It's
it right. You
tough.
got to be much more concise. With things, and obviously we didn't have YouTube Shorts when either of us started, but it's just it's so different now how content is consumed.
So
Especially
different.
within this niche. I mean, it's not only this niche. I mean, it's got to be pretty much everything. When it comes to online content, the quicker you can consume that content, understand what you're looking for, and get out of there, the better. It's kind of what it seems like.
Niching down is something that's almost changed in itself as well. Because if you think about niching down, the way that the shorts algorithm like kind of works, like your shorts videos don't really get niched down very much.
Yeah.
They really don't, as like your full videos do. Now, I do know that YouTube has like this monetization plan coming this year for YouTube Shorts and how that's going to work, but apparently it's like millions and millions and millions of views.
That's what I heard too.
Like TikTok, TikTok monetization is like very, very hard for 99% of creators to get. Like it's even harder to make a decent income on TikTok than YouTube.
Yeah.
So it just so the question is, and this is how much it's changed, right? And this is the big question. The question is if the typical unboxing video no longer works in the Pokemon creator space, because it doesn't. So if you're watching this video right now, because I get asked this all the time, people send me DMs on Instagram, on Twitter. I get freaking emails, like literally to tcgfunhouse@gmail.com. They ask me all the time, how do I start becoming a content creator? What did you do to start becoming a content creator? What's the first thing, right? Like all the time. I'm talking about a couple times a week I get these DMs or these things. And it's such a hard question to answer because it is so ever changing.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I can like consistently say at this point is if you're going to start a channel and you're just going to unbox Pokemon cards, you might as well not. You might as well just enjoy it and not go through the stress of editing and posting videos and filming content that's not going to get any views because you're not going to be able to start. I'm saying this directly to the camera for you guys. You're not going to be able to start a Pokemon card unboxing channel where all you do is unbox cards 2 to 3 times a week and post them in 10 to 15 minute videos. You have to find ways to spice this stuff up. There's no way that just the title of a video, Pokemon TCG Silver Tempest ETB unboxing, it's not going to generate anything. You're not going to grow your channel. You're not going to get the clicks. You're not going to get the views because that title is basically made up of thousands and thousands and thousands of creators who are all posting this stuff out there. So like the one advice that I give people is focus on shorts, man. Like shorts is the thing of the future. If you want to become a Pokemon TCG content creator, you need to focus on shorts. Now, if you want to maximize your monetization, obviously you need to get some full-length videos out there because it is much easier to make your monetization, your watch hours and your subs. It's a lot, actually subs is a lot easier on the shorts too. If your goal is to grow subs, shorts is your way to go. But if you want to grow watch time and if you want to grow a following, a fan base, you need to work that into full-length videos. And you're not going to be able to do that just on unboxings. You have to find ways to spice your content up. Like you have to. So let's take a look at PokeRev, right? PokeRev, arguably right now, the #1 Pokemon TCG content creator. Not insulting anybody, but all you have to do is go to their channel and look at the view counts on their videos, and you will see that PokeRev is clearly #1. Yeah. Clearly #1. He's past Leonhardt. Again, not in subs. Subs is not the important thing when it comes to YouTube. We're talking about watch time and watch hours. Rev is clearly #1. He's past Leonhardt. He's past Unlisted Leaf. He's past Real Breaking Nate, which is wild to think that when I started content creating, I think he was around like 100,000 or 800 or 85,000 or something like that when I first started.
Yeah,
absolutely
I
insane.
Under 100,000. Yeah.
It's crazy, right? And here he is at breaking. He's going to break 2 million this year for sure.
Oh, easy.
Which is insane. But something else that I want to talk about is just views in general.
Yeah.
Pokemon TCG had a massive, wild explosion in 2020, which is where Rev started a lot of his growth, right? And all you have to do is go back and look at Leonhardt's view counts. Compare his 2020 view counts to his 2022 view counts, and it is astonishing.
Night and day.
To see the difference. Now you might go, oh, well, that's because that video's been up for 2 years. It's not really how YouTube works, you know. Like there's trajectory on your videos, and yeah, some videos will carry for years, but there's no reason that his 2020 videos are in the millions a lot of times in the view counts, and his 2022 videos are hardly breaking 200,000. So Pokemon is down as a niche altogether. Like, do you feel that way too?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not 2020 anymore. It's definitely not. I mean, you can feel it. It's not the 25th anniversary anymore when, you know, we kind of had that bump in hype again. It is. It's totally different. I mean, I even feel it myself, you know, like I personally watch less Pokemon content videos out there. I love making the content. I'm not stopping doing that. You know, but it's just, you know, it's just not as popular. It's just, you know, it's still, I don't know. It's weird. It's just, it's different. It's not, you know, on top of everybody's mind like it was, you know, back there in 2020. And, you know, I feel like across the board, I mean, like Rev is almost like an exception to like this rule because he's
definitely is
growing.
He's blowing up still.
He's blowing up. And like you can see it in the views and everything. But I mean, look at, you know, like you said, pretty much all the other big content creators
are down, man.
They're all, views are down on just about every one of them.
Across the board.
It's an interesting sight because like you said, look at their views and their videos 2 years ago, and you would have never thought that they'd be at this far, you know, of a downhill. It's kind of crazy.
And it's not just that like their content has dipped either. If anything, most of their content has gotten better.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
most
agree.
of them have hired editors or have learned how to edit better because back in 2020, 2019, 2018, you didn't have to edit. You didn't have to have these nice, cool things, you know, mixed in between these, you know, editing techniques, I guess, so to speak. It was literally just, here's me talking into the camera. I might have a little bit of an intro. I might have a little bit of an outro. But all those fancy edits, they just didn't count. They didn't happen. They didn't matter back then.
No.
Simpler times, man. Simpler times.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I totally got off track earlier. I was talking about PokeRev earlier, about spicing up content. And I totally, I went off to the whole growth thing and whatever, right? So, but what the point I was trying to make before is that if you go watch PokeRev's videos, he never just opens a product. There's always a gimmick. There's always a challenge. There's always money on the line. It's always a risk, right? It always feels like this high risk, high reward situation on PokeRev's videos, which has really started from like Mr. Beast. You know, Mr. Beast is the person who started this high risk, high reward type of videos. And, you know, now it's affected all of YouTube, including the Pokemon niche. So it's very strange to like sit back and just think about what Pokemon creation was 2, 3, 4 years ago and what it is now. It is completely freaking different. And a lot of these creators, I don't want to say they're being left behind because they still have great content. They're still growing. I would still die to be in Real Breaking Nate's shoes. You know what I mean?
Easy.
So it's not like they're being left behind, but everything is changing. And the biggest reason for this for me is the shorts game.
Yeah.
You know, and there really was some creators that came into the Pokemon community, the TCG community, and they were only making shorts content. And I was kind of like, this isn't real content creation.
Right.
You know, I'm like, oh, come on, this isn't YouTube. It's never going to work and blah, blah, blah. And they have done very, very well for themselves. And here I am beating my head against a brick wall at 18,000 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. Don't get me wrong. But after 4
100%.
years of creating, I should be a little bit higher. We should be a little bit higher than where we are. So shorts is the thing. But I'll get off of my little soapbox here. Go off my little soapbox. But what do you think? And I didn't ask you this before we started recording. So this is so you're going to be like, shit, really?
Ooh, man, on the spot.
What do you think the future looks like for Pokemon TCG and in content creation?
Yeah. Man, that's a tough question. Because you could have asked me that in 2020, and I mean, I wouldn't have told you it's where it's at today, you know?
Right.
I mean, it kind of seems like it's always like the bigger the better, right? Like you said, I mean, I think Rev really figured out the whole what's the
Algorithm?
algorithm. That's not the word I was looking for, but he figured it out, right? The whole
Trend.
the formula, I think, is what I was trying to
There
think
you
of.
go.
When it comes to that, and he also got into the shorts game. I mean, the guy knows how to make a short. He's got some pretty good shorts out there. He gets you hyped
His
up.
editors know how to make a short.
His editors know how to make a short. You're right. I should say that. But I mean, he's got the energy. And I feel like, especially right now when things are such low energy, you need that high energy. So I see, in the future, just being, a very high energy kind of, type of video.
In your face.
I do like this guy's face. Where's he at? Right there. I don't know. I can't point the right way. But now I lost my train of thought. But
I do that all the time. I always mess you up.
You do.
You're like on a roll, and I'm like, cheese sticks.
Just like, what?
You're like, what? Excuse me? In the face?
Oh, I was gonna say is I definitely foresee, like, long content's gonna stay around, right? That is like the backbone of YouTube. Like, you can't have YouTube if you didn't have long content on YouTube. It's TikTok. That's all TikTok. It is.
Yep.
So I definitely foresee it still being there, but maybe not as frequent. I could definitely see, content creators doing, more like 3 or 4 or 5 shorts a day versus,
Absolutely.
A whole full length video or something like that. I mean, because you said it yourself, when it comes, and we've seen it here too, when we were really heavy into shorts, a couple months ago, like, we saw a much greater
huge growth.
bump in subscribers, bump in views, bump in like everything. Numbers were up. It was amazing. And, just seeing that, knowing that, I mean, like, it pretty much seems the path forward is it's shorts right now,
I agree.
It's got its good and its bad.
So for anybody who wants to become a content creator, I would say the first thing you need to do is get your shorts game down.
100%.
And you need to upload. You need to upload it everywhere. You need to make a short. It needs to go up on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram Reels, on Facebook Reels. It has to go up every single place that it could possibly go up on. And you need to try to get your name out there. And you need to do it with short form content. Learn how to edit Reels, shorts. Learn how to film it. The cool thing is you can do most of that on your phone, man.
Yeah,
like the go.
You couldn't do that. You couldn't do that 2 years ago.
No,
Exactly.
not,
you couldn't
bro.
just do everything on your phone.
Everything.
From filming, editing, uploading.
You
all
have
that
to
can be
post.
done.
You have to upload on your phone in order for it to count as a short. You figured that out. I already knew that. Okay,
sorry, I'm
calling you out.
Not as smart as you. But yeah, so it's shorts are where it's at. It's going to be interesting though, because I mean, it's a huge competition between YouTube and TikTok. Like, they're not friends.
No, at all.
So it's at all. So it's going to be interesting to see what else can you like? You can't make content any shorter. Like, it's 3-second videos or nothing. Like, I don't know. What you do to
3-second videos
counter that.
there's always this conversation, right? It's always like, okay, TikTok is the future, right? There was that for a while. For a while, it was Instagram is the future, right? Oh, you're still on YouTube or you're still on Facebook? No, you need to be on Instagram and Snapchat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's one thing that has been persisting, right? What's the only media site where you can post full-length videos, short videos, and live stream?
Right here where you're watching.
There's only one place. YouTube is the only place for that. So as much as TikTok may be the future, it still only fills a small niche. You can go get yourself 100 million. That's a little drastic. You can go get yourself 1 million followers over on TikTok. I guarantee you that if you came over here and started up a YouTube and you started doing full length videos, You might grow a little bit because you're posting on your TikTok, but it's completely different. It's a completely different game, completely different across the board. And I've watched a lot of videos about content creation in 2023, and a lot of people think that YouTube is going to come back with full-length videos like as their primary thing because it is what keeps people here. You know, like cool. Yes, I kind of want to go to. Do you scroll on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or Instagram Reels? What's your thing?
Ask that again. Do you say do I what?
Which one do you choose when you're taking a crap and you're trying to find some short form content? Is it TikTok, IG Reels, YouTube Shorts, or Facebook Reels? Like what's the one you go to?
Yeah, it's usually TikTok because it's quick, it's easy.
Right?
When Open it up, boom, first video right there. I don't gotta even search.
When you have an hour, 90 minutes for some background noise or to kill time while you're doing something else, where do you go?
Right to the Next Level TCG channel so I can watch some podcasts. But YouTube for sure.
Absolutely. It's two different sort of a thing. So I think once YouTube is done, basically this is my opinion, and I would love to hear what you guys have to think in the comment section. Shorts is the way to go. It's the way to go. It's the way to grow. You're going to get the most eyes, right? How do you get the most eyes on your content? Shorts is the way to go. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you want to build a brand and if you want to build a community, you have to have full-length interactive content, whether you do that in forms of live streamings or videos. But that's really the formula that Rev figured out as well. Yes, he's done very well in his shorts. He still crushes his live streams, but his standard full-length videos is what got him where he is today. That's what got Mr. Beast where he is today. Not his live streams, not his shorts. His regular full-length content has gotten where he is today. So at the end of the day, the end game is still to be a big content creator with full-length videos. That's the end game, but the leveling process happens in YouTube Shorts. That's my thoughts.
It'll be interesting, to see, because all those big content creators that are out there right now, they built their channel on full length videos, on lives, chatting with the community and everything like that. But my thing is here now, what's it going to look like in 5 years now that we've had shorts for 5 years, 8 years? Is that going to are those channels that have built themselves on shorts, are they going to, be as big, or are they going to be bigger, than the long form content is, are they going to be bigger but get less views?
See, and that's where I was going with it. That's where I was going with it. You can easily have 5 million followers on TikTok and still have a video that doesn't go great.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that you can really do about it, which you can say is similar here on YouTube, but you amass more of a community with longer videos, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And especially if you're doing lives where you can directly talk to, your audience. I mean, I feel like that's huge. So I would agree with you. Shorts, that's the number one thing for, brand new content creator. Hit those shorts hard. Do those, and then as soon as you can get into starting to do lives, I would start to do that. It is a little bit daunting to go live. I will admit, I was definitely very, very nervous the first few times I went live.
Well, what's really cool is you can go live on TikTok. You can go live on TikTok. You can go live on IG Reels. It's a good way to communicate with people as well.
Yeah, and going live on one of those platforms
way more casual.
It is. It doesn't feel as intense. It definitely doesn't.
You don't got to have the rig. You don't got to have the green screen, the neon lights, the key light, the camera.
Exactly.
You don't got to have the stream
crap
deck
that's around me that you can't see.
Yeah, you turn your dang phone on, turn it around, and you're like, "Hey guys, I'm live. You want to watch me eat this cricket popsicle? Oh, so good."
Million views later.
So have you seen the movie Idiocracy?
No, I've not.
Oh my God, you need to watch it. You need to watch it.
You're making me feel like it's a
comedy.
An epic.
It's a comedy with Luke Wilson.
Okay.
And Maya Rudolph. And
awesome.
Basically what happens is Luke Wilson finds himself in this military experiment where he gets cryo frozen, and he wakes up hundreds of years in the future where everybody is stupid. because the stuff that really doesn't matter matters the most, right?
Oh, that sounds super interesting.
The perfect example is like the president of the United States is also the WWE wrestling champion. And like all of his speeches are promos with fireworks and monster trucks.
Yeah.
Instead of like having a State of the Union and stuff like that. And like
sometimes it feels like that's actually happening, I gotta say.
And it's so funny because like Luke Wilson is just your average guy in like whatever year it was made, but like in the year 2340, he's the smartest man on earth, and he has to save the entire planet. Oh, because everyone else is so stupid. And like what makes me think about TikTok and what brought this all up is, Dax Shepard is also in it.
Oh, okay, cool.
And there's this funny thing where Dax Shepard, like he watches TV like all the time. Like his character's like a TV watcher, and his favorite show is just Ow My Balls, where it's just a bunch of 3 and 4 second clips of guys hurting their nuts. And he's just like, this is so, oh my God, oh my balls.
It sounds terrible.
It's great. It's one of the greatest cult classics ever made. Anybody watching, go watch Idiocracy. You will not be disappointed. But anyway, we're not a movie review channel. We are a Pokemon TCG channel here. And we post full-length videos a few times per week here on the channel and shorts every single day. So if you're into Pokemon, make sure you drop a sub and you smack that notification bell so you don't miss any of our amazing content. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, hit that like button for us as well and let us know down in the comment section what you think about today's conversation piece. What do you think about content creation as a whole? And we would love to know what type of content do you guys want to see here on Next Level TCG in 2023. And remember, if you want to level up, you need to be kind and be yourself.